The Roots of Hope, Designing Solutions for the Climate Change. Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Karthikeya. Do you know what the primary gas responsible for global warming is? Or what the highest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions is? How about the gas that concerns everyone, from a 6th grade student to a 60-year-old scientist? Yes, you guessed it right. It's CO2, carbon dioxide. This key greenhouse gas drives global climate change and continues to rise every year and every month and every day as we speak. Since childhood, we learn that plants take in CO2 and release oxygen, which helps maintain the balance. But do you think plants alone can cope up with the increasing CO2 emissions? As we progress towards industrialization, we've seen cities transform into metros, towns into cities, villages into towns, and forests into residential areas. What happens to the plants and trees if there are no forests at all? Excessive carbon emissions rise daily, coupled with deforestation as well. It's like a razor sharp double-edged knife, adversely affecting our ecosystem. So, what should we do? Anyone might say, just grow more plants and trees. But is it really feasible? Can we revert our cities to agricultural lands and start from scratch all over again? No, we need solutions that are workable in today's living conditions to be sustainable and effective. In this darkness, we have a sustainable solution that requires almost no effort from us. The roots of hope, buried underground. They are unseen, they are untouched, and they are a lone warrior needing no appreciation or support yet, doing its wonderful part silently every single day. It's the mycorrhiza fungus, a little mushroom in action. Yes, you heard it right. A small, tiny fungus saving humanity and mankind. This fungus draws nearly as much carbon dioxide as the US and China combined, helping to lower carbon emissions. Are you wondering whether a small, tiny mushroom can combat climate change? Well, to be clear, it's not the mushroom solving anything. It's the mushroom's roots that are doing the magic. These mushrooms are just periscopes for a vast underground network of fungus that can be a key part of the fight against climate change. This group of fungi, known as mycorrhizal mycelium, draws more than 13 million of tons of CO2 annually. The roots of this magical mycorrhizal fungus spread deep into the earth's womb, making up a third of the living biomass of soil, and express themselves above ground as those fruiting bodies known as mushrooms. This underground network is so vast that if it stretched into a long filament, its total length would be half the width of our entire galaxy. But how can this extraordinary network help with the climate change? Soil contains about 75% of Earth's terrestrial carbon. These roots are tiny carbon capitalists working underground to capture as much carbon as possible. Their greed means more carbon captured from our atmosphere. The fungus then uses the carbon to grow, creating a virtuous cycle of nourishment that our planet, Mother Earth, desperately needs. The need of the hour is recombinant DNA technology. Study and research are needed to identify how this mycorrhizal fungus efficiently absorbs nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen from our soil, how it tolerates environmental stresses such as drought, salinity, and soil contamination, how it maintains a healthy balance of symbiotic relationships with other plants as well, and finally, how it effectively performs carbon sequestration. After thorough and careful evaluation, we need to use recombinant DNA technology to genetically modify other species of fungus to perform like the mycorrhizal fungus. This will help us store more carbon effectively and naturally, enabling us to achieve the goals of the Conference of Parties and the Paris Agreement, which is a 45% reduction in carbon by 2030 and a net zero by 2050. Together, we can bring about change with these roots of hope. Thank you for watching my video. Now I'm going to take you through my poster, which will help you understand much better. I'm going to talk about greenhouse gas emissions. As you're well aware, in those GHG gases, carbon dioxide is the most worrisome. These GHG gases are largely contributing to the climate change, which we are witnessing today, right from floods to hurricanes to cyclones and to wildfires. You name it. We can tag against climate change, rapid industrialization, coupled with massive deforestation and modern living habits, are contributing to the excess levels of CO2 in our atmosphere. Carbon footprint is an environmental indicator that represents the amount of greenhouse gases, or known as GHGs, expressed as CO2 equivalents, that are emitted directly or indirectly as a result of our activities. If you see the statistical data, it keeps on increasing day by day as we speak here. The easiest solution is, which we learned since childhood, is planting and growing more plants. During photosynthesis, plants, algae and some bacteria convert light energy, which comes from our sun, usually into chemical energy stored in glucose, a type of sugar. The process takes place in the chloroplast of the plant cells, specifically within structures called thylakoids. During light absorption, chlorophyll is the green pigment in plants that absorbs sunlight. This light energy is used to power the reaction. During water splitting, which is called photolysis, the absorbed light energy is used to split water molecules H2O into oxygen, O2, protons and electrons. The oxygen is released as a byproduct, the primary source for our existence. During energy conversion, the light energy is transferred into molecules like ATP and NADPH, which are energy carriers. During carbon fixation, in the cycle called the Calvin cycle, carbon dioxide, CO2, from the air is captured by the plants and combined with a molecule called ribulose biphosphate, or known as RUBP. Through a series of reactions, this produces glucose C6H12O6, which the plant can use as energy source for growth, reproduction and other processes. The overall equation for photosynthesis can be summarized as 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy, which results in C6H12O6 plus CO2, 6O2. This process is vital because it provides the oxygen we breathe and eliminates the major greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. In 2021, our atmosphere got 55 billion metric tons of CO2 equivalent in 2022. In 2022, 59.1 billion metric tons. In 2023, 63 billion metric tons. And in 2024, it was 67 billion metric tons. And it's no surprise that it keeps on increasing. But do you think plants are just enough to eat all the excessive carbon that we are releasing in the atmosphere? Certainly not. In this crisis, we have some hope. It is the mycorrhizal fungi. For your easier understanding, you can imagine mushrooms, which are also a type of fungus. But please understand that mushrooms are mycorrhizal, not all mushrooms are mycorrhizal. These particular mycorrhizal fungi got some peculiar property, such as symbiotic relationship with plants. They form a mutualistic relationship with plant roots. In this partnership, the fungi extend the plant root system and nitrogen and water, while the plant provides sugar to the fungus in return. Giving sugars to fungus means making more glucose, and that means taking more and more CO2 from our atmosphere. This relationship helps carbon transfer into the soil as the fungus mycelium excretes organic carbon compounds, contributing to the long-term carbon storage in the soil, which can help mitigate climate change. It's like a huge natural carbon storage facility, but it's just underground. Enhanced water absorption. The fungal network also aids in the uptake of water. The hyphae can access water in the soil that the plant's roots cannot reach, particularly during dry periods, which improves the plant's drought resistance. Disease resistance. Mycorrhizal fungi can help protect plants against certain soil-borne pathogens. They act as a physical barrier, preventing harmful microbes from reaching plant roots. Additionally, some mycorrhizal species can produce compounds that directly inhibit the growth of harmful fungi or bacteria. Soil health and structure. Mycorrhizal fungi contribute to the health of the soil ecosystem by improving soil structure. Their hyphae bind soil particles together, creating a better soil aggregation and increasing porosity. This helps with aeration and drainage. This enhanced structure also promotes better infiltration of water and reduces erosion. Increased plant growth and yield. Many plants that form association with mycorrhizal fungi showed improved growth and yields. This is due to the better nutrient and water uptake, along with the protection from stress factors and diseases. Increased biodiversity. By improving soil health and helping plants thrive, mycorrhizal fungi indirectly promotes biodiversity. Healthier plants support a more diverse ecosystems, which benefits other organisms also, from insects to larger animals. Overall, mycorrhizal fungi plays a crucial role in sustainable agriculture, ecosystem health, and soil conservation. They are used in some agriculture practices and reforestation projects to help plants grow more efficiently and withstand environmental stresses. Promoting plants' growth means promoting in reduction of CO2 levels. It's amazing, isn't it? This group of fungi is known as mycorrhizal mycelium, and it draws down more than 13 million tons of CO2 annually. The roots of this magical mycorrhizal fungus spreads deep inside our Earth's womb, making up 1/3 of the living biomass of soil, and express themselves above ground as the fruiting bodies known as mushrooms. This underground network is so vast that if stretched into a long filament, its total length would be half the width of our galaxy. Using our technological advancement, we need to study more to understand how this particular mycorrhizal fungi can effectively demonstrate A. Carbon sequestration, B. Soil health, C. Enhanced nutrient uptake, D. Improved stress tolerance, E. Disease resistance, and F. Improved symbiotic relationships. Then we need to consider using recombinant DNA technology. This technology involves in manipulating the DNA genetic material of organisms by assigning specific genes and altering them, and inserting them into the DNA of other organisms. This can be done to achieve desired traits or characteristics. So, by using the recombinant DNA technology, gene editing and functional genomics, why can't we attempt to alter the genetics of other fungi also, so that other fungi behave similar to mycorrhizal? If we achieve this feat, it would be a path-breaking, and we can certainly achieve the goals of the Conference of Parties and the Paris Agreement, which are a 45% reduction of carbon by 2030 and a net zero by 2050. Together, we can bring about change with these roots of hope. Hello again, I'm Karthikeya from grade 9, NISAC, signing off today. Thank you.